on behind us.
It's live.
We got a cranky lady in the business center.
I think that's the name of the episode, right?
Cranky lady in the business center. We're live?
Oof.
We are.
Oof. We need brighter.
No, back where they were.
Ooh, that's bright.
We're a little blown out now.
Oh, we're
That's
too
good.
bright? Too bright? Who can you see? He can't see, right?
He can see it.
You're
He can
good.
see you. I think
You guys are
we're good.
beautiful.
Okay, we're here. We're back. Episode number, I guess this will be what?
Episode one? Yeah.
We brought you episode 0. We kind of skipped episode 1. This should probably be episode 2.
Well, episode 1, we just would have talked about the same thing we talked about. So,
Right.
I mean,
Episode 1 is the missing episode. Let's just be that. So
Yep.
this will be episode 2, week 2.
Two.
See that way? See how it correlates there?
Yep.
Okay. We got Juice live. Where are you live from, Juice?
Outside of the business center in Scottsdale, the Embassy Suites.
Poolside, right?
Poolside.
Right. So you would think that one who is going to Zoom in a podcast might do it from like the business center, but you're not in the business center. Why are we not? Why are we not in the business center?
I got booted from the business center. A lady was not liking our conversation, so
What were we talking about? This will be
we were
inside
talking
joke
about
number 1.
We're talking about our autistic friends and their kids, I think.
I don't like Christina. If you watch this, I was not talking about Sullivan. We were talking about Donnie.
No, yeah.
Anyway, Juice was asked kindly to leave the business center. I don't know.
I don't know about
I
kind.
don't know how kindly it was.
I don't think as kindly is the word I would have used.
With some direct quotes from our conversation thrown in. It's the best thing that's ever happened on the Pivot. I'm sorry that it was not brought to you live. It's probably the funniest thing that's happened pre-show since Jared's wallet got stolen. Can we agree to that?
I think that would have gone completely viral. That
Yeah,
moment.
it was so good.
Like I said, it would have been a
It was so
perfect
good.
short.
Okay,
It
for
would give us
people
a
that
step
do listen to
forward.
the show, we were sitting there getting ready to do show, and all of a sudden in the mics we hear someone's voice say, after Julio had warned us about cussing on the mic, and tell Julio if that was a personal call, that he was in the business center, and that business basically Juice needed to get the fuck out of the business center.
She couldn't handle it.
Juice is
She
now
was too busy.
poolside.
Poolside. And I was trying to give my real opinions, but Matt told me to stop talking, so I respected that request.
Once she started talking, I stopped talking altogether. I was not going to say another word until he was out of that business center. Anyway, it was nice to meet you, Karen. And this show is definitely dedicated to you. You definitely made my life a little bit better today. So
Her name was Karen, I think.
yeah, I see Ming is live. Ming, you missed it. It was the best.
Oh, man, that was so good.
Oof. Yeah.
So good.
Okay, well, let's do some show. That was great. Anyway, we're back. The Pivot. We're live from Crybaby Hill. We're brought to you by Bass Bank.
Nice.
Pretty much innovators in the banking world.
Yep.
Right? And we're executively produced by Toby Biocchini. And we got Juice and Jared. We got Juice live from the poolside.
Yep.
And we're ready to go with week 2. Let's hit some hindsight, Julio. What did we do right? What did we do wrong? I think let me answer that first. Nuking Jared's first lineup was the smartest thing we did of the weekend. Is that correct?
Oh my gosh, that was
No, wait. I tested this. I kept all 3 lineups, and all 3 of them were relatively close. Of course, the one that I started was the least out of the 3, but it still did good.
That's not shocking to anybody. Nobody in the industry. Jared hit us with the Mingo Mims double rookie stack. Right off the gate.
Yeah, it was.
right out of the gate. Let's just roll the dice. Baby.
I mean, he was
Let's
2
just
hours
go.
early on that too. Like usually, I'm trying to get lineups 5 minutes before to see previews. 2 hours before a kickoff, I'm getting Mingo Mims. Anyway, I love it.
I still cashed on that lineup.
Jared is not afraid to press some buttons. Is
Nope.
that correct? That lineup fucking cashed.
Yep, got cashed.
He was in an 8-man tournament.
No, it's DraftKings. No, it was the Millionaire Maker DraftKings.
He was playing heads up
I
against.
kept Tua on that
Yeah,
one,
his-
and he was the highest scoring.
He cashed it in the heads up match against his 10-year-old cousin.
And
Yeah,
Nico
he did a
Collins
heads
did
up
good.
with his kid.
All the sounds are gonna be super loud today.
That's true. Yeah, the sounds are super loud. I wish we were back in the business center. Why aren't we in the business center for this?
I can go back if you want.
That would make the show too great.
I feel like we're on an episode of Friends with that. It's great.
Okay, Juice, give us some real hindsight. What did we see? What did you see out of week one?
Well, so first of all, I think I was listening to another show, and they said it was the least amount of touchdowns ever produced collectively in week one. So it was a really low scoring week as a whole. I really took a lot of sort of stands last week. I was really high on Tyreek Hill. That obviously worked out. I was really high on Calvin Ridley. That worked out. I was really high on J.K. Dobbins. That
was working out.
It was working out.
It was working out, and then he got injured. I think my biggest stand that didn't work out was I was really I almost pushed all the chips in on Marvin Mims Jr. and he did absolutely nothing. I think he had 2.9 points. So got some things right, and then it got some things really wrong.
Yeah, I think Mims was highly played across the industry. Coming in at 3,000.
He was 8% owned.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
In which league?
In DraftKings.
Okay. I like it. What about you, Jared? What hindsight did you take from week one?
I should have just stuck with my guns and
played
Tua on all my lineups.
Oh,
I loved Tua last week. And he was the highest scoring QB, and Tyreek Hill was the highest scoring wide receiver.
Yeah. What do you think that's something that we can count on consistently? Or
I think they're going to be pretty awesome throughout this entire year. I don't expect them to do that every single week, but
right.
I think they're going to be really good.
Juice, some players that might have surprised you week one, and some players that kind of got on your concern list after week one.
Well, I mean, it wasn't on the main slate, but the Chiefs kind of concerned me a little bit.
Yeah. Who are you starting in that?
Well, that's the thing. It's it's just such a musical chairs with their receiving core
and running backs.
And running backs. It's just very sort of influx. Now, we didn't have Kelsey last week, so I think he's coming back this week. So
looks like it.
I'm hoping that opens things up a little bit. How about the Cowboys and the Giants, dude? That was
what an embarrassing game.
I'm telling you, that's such a tradition like none the other. Sunday night in Vegas, fired up to watch a game, and by the halftime, you're down on the floor doing something else because that game just is terrible every year. It's every time it's Dallas, New York on Sunday night, it just turns out to be a terrible game.
Yeah, well, I mean, just the Cowboys' defense looked, as good as any defense I've ever seen. I don't know if that's them or if that's the Giants, but wow. I mean, it just the Giants couldn't do anything. At all.
Their O-line was pretty terrible too.
Mm-hmm. Well, any last words on week one hindsight before we transition?
Puka Nacua, 15 targets week one. Matt Stafford's top target with Cooper Kupp coming out. Did either of you see that happening?
We knew that those two little Otwell and whatever the other one.
Atwell, yeah.
Atwell and the other one, they're just little quick receivers, and they seem to be open. So I can't see that going away for the Rams.
Puka Nacua was
Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua. I think I'm saying his name right.
Puka Nacua? What? I'm not even trying to make a
Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua.
Okay.
He was tied for the highest targeted wide receiver last week with Tyreek Hill with 15 targets.
Oh, that's amazing. I did not know that. That's surprisingly. How'd the Millionaire Maker get one?
All right, Millionaire Maker. The Millionaire Maker lineup had Tua for quarterback, Eckler,
okay,
Walker,
okay, with the snowflake,
yep, Kendrick Bourne,
okay,
Brandon Ayuk,
okay,
Calvin Ridley, Hurts at tight end for Carolina.
Yeah, I had him in my original build.
Tyreek Hill in the flex.
I had him in my original build.
And then the Commanders as their defense.
Had them in my original build.
And they scored a total of 233 points.
That's a low-scoring Millionaire Maker, right, Juice?
Yeah, it was a low. Like I said, it was an extremely low-scoring week. I think it also shows that you got a snowflake in the Millionaire winning lineup with Kenneth Walker. So
yep.
I mean, again, I think that speaks kind of volumes about last week.
Yeah, 158 score one Rays League. Shout out to Gardy finishing top 5. Juice in the number 3 hole. Is that your? We got 50 people in Rays leagues this year. You can finish as low as 49th and 50.
Yeah.
So third sounds pretty darn good in this league, right?
It's a great start.
They increased the payouts to $700 per week too, by the way.
Oh wow, nice.
So, Gardy and Juice both in the top 5.
Yeah, Juice got third place with 157 points.
Buddy Newsom was up there. Both Jared and I finished top 15,
yep.
which seems good. Yeah. So anyway, good start. Let's. You want to? You ready, Jay? To
Do the 50-cent piece.
hear this music means we're about to give you 50-cent pieces, which is our way of talking about the games that are predicted by Vegas and the boys to go over 50 this week. Obviously, in building your DraftKings lineups, you want to play the games that got some points. So, Juice, are we playing a guessing game here? What are we doing?
Yeah, why don't you guys guess how many games are in the 50-cent piece bucket?
Now that Jared has the lines open.
I don't have the lines open. I'm just looking at the games. I don't ever cheat.
Yeah, right. No, you can't cheat with those answers.
Yeah, I think my history should say that I don't cheat.
That's fair.
If I did cheat, man, I'm a bad
Did you see
cheater.
that you can get your player exposures for every contest you do now? That's pretty cool.
It was cool.
All right, I'm going to go with 4 over